Greetings, welcome, Five Play Friday Live. We are live from the beautiful San Francisco Bay Area. The rains are gone. Cool sunny days for us here. We are super excited. We have got playoff fever. And the only cure is more cowbell. Yeah. Awesome. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope things are good in your part of the country. Here in the Bay Area, we are rocking and rolling. I got a busy day ahead of me today. But no game tonight. I have a game tomorrow night. A section final, a boys game. It'll be on NFHS Network, so I'm sure there'll be some little kernels that I can pull, some technical fouls that I assess that everybody's confused by. We will see, but why are we here? We're here to get better. Looking at plays, looking at scenarios, talking about situations, so we can all get better as basketball officials. What else do we have to do early in the morning on a Friday? I hope everyone is well. Warren Layton jumping in from up north. Not as up north as some will be, I'm sure. Show supporter Richard Masterson. Good to see you, Richard. Much thanks and much love. Ron Caudle from North Carolina, from Charlotte. Excellent. Tom Hickey from Milwaukee. Yeah, I guess there were some phone issues yesterday. I did not experience any myself. I'm on the Verizon network. All right, Jason. Now, let me ask you this. Will you be calling it both ways in your state playoff game on Monday? Will you? Really? Okay. I got a great crew for my game. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then our state playoff game. So this is a section final. Those happen tonight and on Saturday. And then over the weekend, they'll build up the brackets for the state championship tournaments. There are 6 divisions. 7. There's an open division and 6 other divisions. And then there's a bracket in the north of California and a bracket in the south of California. Those brackets will produce teams that will go to the state finals, and the state finals will be up in Sacramento at the Golden One Center, a fantastic venue, NBA floor. So big. When those teams start to press, you feel it real big. And so those will be first week of March, I believe, the state finals. So we'll know on Tuesday where our first game is. For the state finals, for the state tournament, I don't expect to do many games in that tournament myself. Stan Bickler is in the house. Good to see you, Stan. Yeah, it was one of our plays, or when we do the Ray Yuma review, made me think of the some of your plays from last year where official went from out of their primary to come get a take foul in a take foul situation. Made me think of that. Cannon, good to see you. What? Zooch is out of town in Alabama. Alabama in the news. Oh, no. Well, at least you're at home. At least you're not sick as a dog in a hotel room somewhere. Tom, very shrewd. Your judgment is impeccable. That cannot be denied. Your judgment is impeccable. Yeah. Well, what's the deal? So do you want me to start the show and then have to delay things? Or why don't I need to have an auxiliary, right? So we're getting to the end. I have a little countdown timer, right? Obviously you see it as well. And we're getting to the end. And I should just have another scene created Make a note, tech team. Another scene created where it just bumps it. Maybe it goes to the farmer for 30 seconds. And I can just keep hitting that until I'm ready to go. I like it. Wisconsin. Yes. Warriors have a Wisconsin player, 4-year starter, on the team, playing well. He's a dunker. Good morning, Patrick Weaver. Darwin Sonata, show supporter. Good to see you, Darwin. Much appreciated and much love. We got a lot of show supporters here in the chat. I appreciate you all very much. Very, very much. Oof. Congratulations, Mike. Back to the tournament. I'm sure there'll be drama in your games. Drama. You can send clips. So we're winding down, not just in our timer. How do I get my finger over there? I can't do it. For the show, but we're winding down for the season. So I believe that I have not missed a week this season, that I have had a live stream every Friday for the entire season. A miracle in itself. But we are coming to an end. I don't know if I'll have 3 more shows or 2 more shows. So let's make it a good one today. Good morning, Reese. Yeah, we're going to review those final 3 plays, final 3 scenarios from that Yuma game. I'm becoming more and more, when it comes to training new officials, like sort of working from the end of the game back, right? All of our habits and fundamentals at the end of the game will come to bear because it's stressful. It's a stressful moment. There's pressure in the game. There's pressure. The time is winding down, And if we look at end of game situations, it can be very revealing and can expose us. All right, so, if this was my game, would I pick up that timeout request? Would I designate the spot on the throw-in? Would I do all of the things? And so I'm going to be doing more of that, I think, looking at just, kind of a 2-minute report from the NBA, but more like final 30 seconds of a game or final 2 minutes of a game. Did we do all the things? Did our skills come to bear on the game? So I appreciate that, Reese. By you, Michael, or by the officials in your cohort? Oh, so we're not in the playoffs yet, Darwin? Yeah, we've been in the playoffs, sort of league playoffs and section playoffs here in the Bay Area for the last couple of weeks. And then we'll have state playoffs next week. Good morning, Jason. Good to see you. Well, some officials say, now that the high school season is over, the earning season begins because there's all you can eat in terms of AAU and rec ball and what have you on the weekends. And then summer leagues start, etc. Many officials, have their schedule is such that they can, fill up their time officiating at those levels. And I'll be doing some of that as well. And more to come on that front. Might be doing some things that apply to the high school season. Good morning, Chris83 from Quincy. Ooh. Good to see you, Ted. Michael from Minnesota. Excellent. Joel from Indiana. A fair assessment. Where's the lie? Where's the lie? Yes. Let us hit the like. Can I hit the like button? No, I don't have the live stream up. Good morning, Chris. Good to see you. Oh, Randy. Yeah, you got that big state final game coming up, buddy. Yeah, congratulations on that. Aaron from Wisconsin, good to see you. Oh, excellent. Oh, tremendous. Oh, awesome. That's great, Michael. Hey, don't screw it up. Hey. Good morning, Greg from Nebraska. Team Greg is in the house. Good to see you. Hector. Awesome. Good to see you, Hector, in the chat. I can appreciate that. Where's the lie? Again, where's the lie? Oh. Yes, that is correct. That is correct. Actually, Kavan is no longer a starter. He's on the bench, coming off the bench. His role has been really reduced. The team has adjusted. Clay is off the bench. Looney is off the bench, and Looney's pretty much really limited in the rotation, depending on the matchup. If they're going against a big center like Nurkic or Jokic, etc., he'll get more minutes. But the Warriors beginning to be a team that may be relevant. Ooh, we'll see. We'll see. But I appreciate it. Good morning, Kelly, in the chat. All right. Sounds like a big game. Do what you do. Do what you do. Oh, Milwaukee's in the house. Somebody didn't turn their phone to silent. And it says right here, my tech team gave me the checklist. It says right here, phone silent. For once, I can't blame it on the tech team. Ay, ay, ay. All right. Give me just a second. Ay, ay, ay. Almost went to the farmer. Almost had to invoke the farmer. Invoke the farmer. I love it. I love it. Hot chocolate. That works. That works. Dave Witt. Short for something else, I found out. Good to see you, Dave. Hey, did I see the Ray Allen in the chat and I went past him? Good morning, Ray, from the beautiful San Francisco Bay Area. I hope all is well with you. Excellent, Phil. All right. Okay. All right. Do I have my stuff together? You never know. If you think you're ready to officiate the game, the ball goes up, and then you find out for sure. So I think I am ready to start the game, to start the show. Oh. Yeah. Let's do it. Greetings, everyone. The season is winding down and ratcheting up at the same time. Playoff games, intensity is in the air, and we're approaching a final conclusion to the basketball season. But let's keep going. Let's keep looking at plays, getting better as basketball officials. How many? Yes, 5 plays. Stick around. Greetings, everyone. Welcome back. 5 Play Friday. We're looking at plays. If you don't know me, my name is Greg Austin with A Better Official. We craft video to help basketball officials get better and take control of their officiating career. Let's start today with a you make the call play, not a play you see every day. What do you have on play number 1? Okay, a quick banger, right? Inbound play, player goes to the floor, player receives the inbound pass, goes to the basket, a foul is ruled on our kneeling player. What do you have on this play? Blocking? Make your call. Put it down in the comments below. And stick around. Stick around to the end of the video. We'll look at all of the things on play number 1. All right, quickly, moving on. Play number 2. Except for live stream viewers. Hey, back at the start of the show, we had that inbounds play and a blocking foul ruled. Let's look at play number 1. Let's review it. All right, a short clip, but there's a lot going on here. We've got an inbound play. We have screening action. A player goes to the floor, and then that player, realizing that the opponent is going to the basket, simply on their knees becomes legal? And a foul is ruled. The shooting foul is ruled. So there's a couple of things to address here, right? First of all, the screening action that leads to the play, and then the subsequent play, right? So we've had plays on 5 Play Friday where players are on the ground and under the basket, and a foul is ruled on a prone player. This is a little bit different, right? Does this defender do anything illegal? Right? You could say, well, wait a minute, legal guarding position is 2 feet on the floor facing their opponent. They obviously don't have that. But what do they do that's illegal? Are they not entitled to be on the floor? Do they extend their arms illegally, etc.? Or are they just on the floor in that position? You know, this is not a play you see every day. Obviously, we don't get block charge plays on players who are kneeling on the floor very often. So, even though NFHS has specifically said very clearly, a player on the floor is entitled to that place on the floor. And we've had prone players and players tripping over prone players and fouls being ruled, etc. Some may have done that themselves. This seems like a play where our defender has done nothing illegal and they are entitled to that spot. It can be confusing to our brain that, wait a minute. I mean, they don't take the legs out of our shooter, etc. They simply start to get up, right? There's no restriction on that. So it's an interesting scenario in that way. I would say I would not rule a foul in this situation if I had my wits about me on this play. But the elephant in the room to me is the illegal screening, right? This defender is tripped by a player extending their leg into their path, contacting them illegally in the leg, causing them to fall. We've got 2 officials working off ball on this play. This is a play we want to get. It's going to be hard for the lead in this instance, who's dealing with restrictions by the thrower. They've got that defender with their hand up, potentially violating the plane, etc. But this is illegal screening action, right? This player is tripped by a player extending their leg. You could say it's a moving opponent. They didn't give them time and distance. You could say screening from behind. There's in many ways this screening action is illegal. We'd want to get that on that play. So an interesting play we have a defender on their knees, right? Not something we see every day. That player is entitled to their spot on the floor unless they do something specifically that is illegal. Did they do that on this play? Not in my judgment. But, it's open to interpretation. Key takeaway here, though, is we have to get the illegal screen in this situation. Yeah, get the illegal screen. Yeah. But a great play to look at. I go here. Not something you see every day, this play. Lance has an illegal screen. Thomas has a block. Jason, illegal screen. Phil would say no call. I am with you, Phil. Do we have displacement? The rules were not did not have this situation in mind. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I'd go player control. I think I'd lean more. Man, you call it player control here. The opposing coach, the offended coach, is going to be like, what the hell? They are not in legal guarding position. So would that be a factor in determining whether it is a charge? Well, yeah. The rules are not equipped for this play, in my judgment. The rules are not equipped for this play. Kevin's got a block. Oh, Mike, come on. Come on. Does not see an illegal screen. All right. Is our defender moving? Yes. Is a leg placed in the path, causing that illegal contact and the player trips? Yes. They did not trip of their own volition. They tripped due to the opponent's action. Not by rule. Well, what else are you looking at, Brian? What are we right? So when we have players go to the floor, the old adage, we have a player go to the floor. How did they get there? Right? Did this clumsy player get their feet tangled and crossed up and fall on their own volition, or were they tripped? Right? It's going to be one of those two things. When a player falls in this fashion, maybe, they could step on their own shoelace and the same action could happen. But we need to know, and who needs to know? We've got two officials working off ball. What does our center official have? Zero. No competitive matchups. So, that's a warning, Thomas. Obviously, I disagree. Does it have to be intentional, Robert, in order for it to be illegal? I certainly don't believe the player said, I'm going to go trip that player. The question is, what was the impact of the contact on our moving player? Just moving? Yeah. Gotcha, Darwin. Gotcha. You guys are harsh on defenders being tripped. Okay, awesome. Let's see. Play number 2. I need to go here. And I've already said, let's take a look at play number 2. All right, a free throw violation is ruled on this play, similar to a play we've had in the past. Important to understand in this situation, right? So how could we handle things on this play a little bit differently, right? This is a free throw violation by rule. Is it a common scenario? Is it clear what has happened on this play, right? So let's look at our habits and fundamentals on the play. First of all, when does a free throw and the restrictions on a free throw begin? Right? They begin when the ball is at the disposal of the thrower. When the official is bouncing a ball to a player and they catch the basketball, by rule, this is considered to be at their disposal. Does this player catch the basketball? That's our key question here, right? Do they catch the basketball? Yes. And then they subsequently fumble the basketball, lose control, etc. This is a free throw violation by rule, right? But rather than simply like stepping in and saying, okay, there's just one remaining, what do we expect in this situation? Confusion, right? Our coach at the other end is obviously saying, what, right? And our 2 officials turn and address it. Right? What we want to avoid, especially if you're a young official, what we want to avoid is confusion in the game. Be very clear. This would be a situation where we're going to use our voice and explain violation by rule, etc. We're going to shoot one, it's a big voice, etc. If there was a question by the coach, maybe allow a moment, a pause where one of the other officials could make an explanation to the coach, etc., and then we can move on. I think we move on a little bit too quickly here, but what do we see? Actual proper positioning by our lead official for the first of 2 free throws. I don't think we've seen it all year, right? Usually officials are in the first marked lane space or the marked lane space under the block, right? So our young official does a good job in that regard on this play, but this is a violation by rule. When we have situations where something unusual has happened in the game, allow the moment to breathe. Allow a moment to be have clarity in your communication with the stakeholders in the game so that everybody knows that was a free throw violation. We're going to shoot the second of 2 free throws, and where the game's going to move on. Right? If your partner turns and addresses, maybe just take a breath, take a moment, allow the natural pause in the game, everybody's clear, and then let's resume. Don't rush through the scenario, or what's going to happen is for the next time down the court, you're talking to the coach out of the side of your mouth and not focusing on the game, right? Great for when unusual scenarios happen in the game. Voice, explanation, clarity, right? If there's a moment where there's just extra communication, allow that in the game, and then we can proceed, and that's all taken care of, and we're moving on. Hey, we're moving on, but not first. We're not, oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Moving on. We're not moving on without taking a moment to thank our tremendous show supporters who help fuel the broadcast. Darwin Sonata, Richard Masterson, Phil Haddad, Isaiah Lang. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm going Isaiah Langlois, Isaiah Langlois, and Lotta Joe. Much appreciated and much love. You want to support the show? There will be links in all the usual locations right here across the screen, in the show description, in the first pinned comment, and up above. All right, with that, we're moving on to our next play. Except for live stream viewers. Yeah, I didn't do that. I didn't do that right. The try is over. Now, does he actually catch the basketball? Yeah. Yeah, he does. It's close. It's close. And of course, our calling official, our lead, turns his head when the key moment occurs. Whether did he catch it or did he fumble it? Ooh. But he obviously watches 5 Play Friday. He knew that's a violation. Caught the ball. Of course, what happens if your thrower, when you bounce the ball to them, instead of catching it, they simply bat it to the floor and then start dribbling it? Has it started? Oh, just like on throw-ins, you bounce the ball to a thrower, and they just, rather than catching it, they simply bat it onto the court to their teammate. There's no defensive pressure. Has the throw-in begun? Did the ball become live, Tom? We would certainly need to know that. Kylie, that is the searing moment. I learned that lesson. How do I know so much? Yeah, I've screwed up every single possible scenario. Yes. Wait, do I know so much? Yeah. Got a back. I agree, Dave. This would be a good crew communication play, right? Come in, yeah, great get, partner. Yes, confirmation, especially from our crew, because again, we have a moment of confusion in the game. Well, Tom, one has to ask, where was it? Where was the foul? 8 a.m. start? What? Oh, that reminds me, I have games on Sunday at 8:30. Oh, it seems so early. Yeah, what I don't like is that we've glossed over the moment, and then we end up with our crew talking to the coach during the live ball, just a little rushed. We got the call right, just a little rushed. Poppy Tails is lenient here. Lenient. Well, our lead certainly does not know. Let's watch our lead. right? Do they see the ball being caught here? Do they see it? They look up at the clock. I don't know that he saw it. I don't know that he saw it. I would say rather than he dribbled, I'd say he fumbled the ball after he caught it. Tony says, come on, man. Yes. Well, right. So what's the level of play? Competitive game, third period, just started. Yeah, I'm always in favor of working from the rules backward. This is a 46-point game. The clock is running in the final 2 minutes. And we have a player off the bench who's sort of the player that everybody wants to succeed. You know, the player at the end of the bench who never gets to play. You actually ruled this foul. It was kind of marginal because you wanted to put him on the line. Maybe I'm doing a do-over. Maybe. Yeah, I agree, Thomas, right? So we build our rule set to get things right by rule, and if we need some flexibility, we can always come off of it. Come on. Yes. He is holding the ball, and before he attempts his dribble, I think he fumbles it. Oh no, have I screwed this whole play up? Wait a minute. Oh no, I've screwed the whole play up. I thought it was the first of two. Oh no. What, am I have to refilm the whole thing? Ay. All right. Our trail official says 1. Maybe this is an and 1 situation. Ay. Spent so much time editing. Okay, and so why are we talking to the white coach? Because he says that's a violation. Oh, okay. Okay. Ay. Let's redo it. We'll fix it in post. Okay. Let's go here. All right, so what we have here is a 1 free throw situation. Our trail official, it must be an and 1, right? Player has scored the goal, etc. We are going to shoot 1. This is the first of 1 free throw. Our thrower violates, and yet the officials give the ball back to the thrower in this situation. Is this the correct ruling on this play? We need to understand when a free throw begins. When does a throw-in begin? When does a jump ball begin? When does a free throw begin? At that moment, there are restrictions on the players in the game. A free throw or a throw-in, when we bounce the ball to the thrower and they catch the basketball, the ball is considered to be at their disposal by rule. This player catches the ball, and then when readjusting the ball in their hands, fumbles it, it bounces off their foot and goes to an opposing player in the lane. This is a free throw violation by rule. This is not a do-over scenario. We've got an opposing coach at the other end of the floor who says, wait, what's going on? Why does he get another one, right? This is a violation by rule. Many officials will be lenient here and do a do-over even after a player has dribbled the ball once or twice. Understanding the rules and restrictions on players, though, is critical. We have some great habits and fundamentals. Our crew is in great position for this free throw. Our lead official does the correct mechanics in this scenario by stepping off the court, off of the lane line extended. great habits and fundamentals, but this is a free throw violation by rule and should be ruled as such. So when we have unusual plays in the game, such as this free throw violation, we can be very clear. Now, this is the last free throw. How would we resume the game in this situation? We need to know that. Obviously, when we put a ruling in the game, we need to know how we're going to proceed. In this situation, we have a dead ball. Neither team is entitled to the That's not true. The throwing team has... In this situation, the throwing team has violated. The opponent will be awarded a designated spot throw-in on the end line nearest to where the violation occurred. So, a play we want to get right in the game. Yeah, good to see it in the wild. I can't believe it. I could interpret plays any way you want. Let's say it's a double violation. I'll redo the whole thing. Oh, my goodness. Thank you. Wait a minute. Shane comes... Where was the Zooch? Usually the Zooch is finding my erroneous rulings in the game. Great get, Shane. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah. I wish there was an announcer on this play. Yeah, good observation, since it absolutely changes everything about the ruling on the play. Ay, ay, ay. Wow. I don't know, Tony. I don't know. If I'm the opposing coach, it's like, I don't care if it's accidental. I don't care. I don't want him getting this point. You know, we're struggling. We're down 7. We always have to ask when we're going to deviate from the rules. It's just like, well, what about the offended team in this situation? Are we going to just disregard them? Hey, sorry, bro. Yeah, okay. So our center official is counting with their right hand here. We can hardly see it. Okay, and now our lead is saying, no, we're going to do a do-over. And it becomes even more of a factor that he didn't see the player catch the ball. Yeah, okay. Boy, I'm going to have to move on from that. We spent 20 minutes on this play. Yes, I agree, Lance. I agree. Wow. I love the details being caught. That if I wasn't rushed when I edited the play. Absolutely. Bring down the wrath of the rules on a team in a blowout. Okay. Well, therein lies the difference. Oh, we can't have any wasted coffee, Patrick. I would want our center official to be a little more onto the court, right? So what are we looking at? What's our responsibilities here as the center official? We're responsible for the thrower violating. We are responsible for these 2 players violating. We are responsible for this player violating. So if this player violates, can we see that from here? This is a pretty good telestration now. Come on. That's pretty legit. I would want our official a little more this way. Maybe right here, so that they have a look at these players, this player, whether the ball contacts the ring, and our trail official can handle these 3 violating the arc. Man. My telestrating hand got to work out there. Whoops. Oh. Thank you, Thomas. I almost screwed that up. Ay, ay, ay. Are we off our game this morning? We'll find out. We'll find out. Whew. All right, next play. All right, so I've superimposed a clock to reflect the reality of the play. So this is a block charge play that occurs at the buzzer to end a period. The trail official in this instance says no shot, and then our lead official on the play indicates a player control foul, and the player control foul was ruled in the game. So what is the correct ruling? How do we handle this situation? Now, me superimposing this and adding an artificial horn, over the background noise of an NFHS network game that, you know that sound, you know that one. It was just meant for clarity on the play. So what would be the correct ruling in this scenario? Right? This would be the only thing that's in question is, are we going to assess a foul on a player in this situation? There will be no goal, the ball, etc. Does the foul occur before the ball becomes dead, right? So when does the ball become dead in this situation? Understanding live ball, dead ball is absolutely critical to being successful as a basketball official. You have to understand live ball, dead ball. So what causes the ball to become dead in this situation? Let's take a look. So let's suppose that the clock is the 0.06 here is accurate. When does the ball become dead in a situation? Right? So there's a couple of things here. Is the try released before the horn, or is the ball in the player's hands? And that's critical to the decision on the play. If the ball is still in the player's hand and the horn sounds, the ball is dead. Any contact that would result after the ball is dead, after the clock hits 0, any contact is going to be judged on its merits and would be, if there was contact, a normal common foul situation, it would be disregarded by rule unless it rose to the level of intentional or flagrant, a swinging elbow, etc., or subsequent. So if the ball is still in the player's hands, the ball has become dead. If the ball had left the player's hands, the ball would become dead on the foul. Right? An airborne player, the ball is dead on the foul. The foul, though, would occur after the expiration of time, but the ball would still be live, but would become dead when the foul was ruled. Now, you might say on this play, as I do, and it's like, that's not a charge. So, key takeaways on a play like this are, first of all, everybody have an opinion. Have an opinion. This is an unusual scenario, right? We'd want to go to our lead official and say, hey, let's talk this through, right? So I had the ball in their hand. Obviously, the trail had the ball in their hand. Now, is this the trail's responsibility on this play using NFHS mechanics? No. Oh, let's take a look at that. Let's go here. Right, center has clock here in this scenario. Right, our lead could be indicating no try for goal. I have a player control foul. Not a play you see every day. It would be great to have the actual audio and a better look at the clock. It would be great to have lights on the backboard, all of the things. But a good play to look at, and we really need to understand in officiating basketball, is when the ball becomes dead, right? You have to have that critical skill as basketball officials. Why did this sound? I don't know. But a great clip. We've done a little, playing around with it to try to accurately assess what was going on the play. But a great question, right? If this play was in the NBA, what would they be doing? They'd be going to the monitor. They'd be, looking at all these clocks, etc., to determine, was the shot released? Had the ball become dead, etc. We don't have that luxury. We're out on the court. All we have is us as a crew, right? So we'd want great communication in this situation. Why is that horn sounding? Oh. My editing team did not do a good job on that one. All right. I agree. I would call it rule of block in this situation. Point 2? What? Mike, the ball would become dead if it was still in the player's hands when the horn sounds. Which I tried to, right, our trail official, what's our center doing? Right? Well, he obviously did not have an end of period situation. So we have disagreement. My understanding on the play is that the foul occurred, or that the ball was deemed to still be in the hand when the horn sounded. Who knows what mechanics are being used in various parts of the world? I know in Michigan they like have a separate set of mechanics that's different from NFHS. So oh, I don't do that, Mike. I don't do that. That's my tech team completely. I'll check with Oliver and let him know how he, I think that there's a video of the countdown clock, and it's added to the editing software and aligned very strategically. I wish I'd given it one more little tick to show that the ball was obviously in the player's hands, because that's my understanding from the crew, from the calling official here, is that the ball was deemed to be in the player's hand when the horn sounded. Which would be, if it's this close, man, that's going to be really tough. You're not going to pick that up. You are not going to pick that up. So I think I did a poor job of superimposing, but that's how it's done. I understand. That's, what I've been told in meetings with the team. Well, if that was the case, then we would rule a player control foul. That foul would be added to that player's foul count, etc. Obviously, no free throws would be attempted, Poppy Tails, and the period would be over because the clock could not be stopped by a human being in time if the foul actually occurred with 0.1 seconds, etc. That is what we do. There is nothing in the official's manual that suggests a whistle should be blown unless to clarify that there is no shot. So in this situation, if our center official had the ball in the hand, or if the official whose responsibility it was, if the center or trail opposite the table, which we would expect by NFHS mechanics, and want to indicate no shot, right? We'd come in with a big cell, blow a whistle, no shot, right? I had the ball in the hand, partner. I have responsibility for that, partner. That's my job, partner. I know you want to call a foul, partner, but the ball was dead, right? And we'd talk it through then. But we'd want a big cell action, not just this casual, wipe off from the trail. But our crew agreed in this situation that the ball was in their hand when the horn sounded. Yeah. I've never had any pushback from the tech team. All right. I'm going here. I'm going to hear that horn one more time and drive us insane. Okay. Move on. We got to move on. Next play. All right, a play in the lane, stuff going on, habits and fundamentals. Let's take a look at the things on this play. And what do you see? What's your first reaction on this play? Is this a blocking foul in the lane? We got players go to the floor. One player gets the basketball, seems to be making action with their hands. We've got off the bench, immediately head coach requesting a timeout from the trail official. We see that. Player's holding the basketball. Player lands on top of them, etc. Our lead official moves in this sort of volatile situation, and then our center official comes in with information of some sort on the play, a hand up. We seem at the end to be assessing technical fouls on the two players involved by our lead official pointing at both the players. Let's look at the habits and fundamentals here on this play, right? So to me, when I see this play, the first thing I see is our player in white is accelerated going to the floor. Why would they be accelerated in this situation? I think they are pulled. I think our defender pulls their left arm in this situation, actually causing them to go to the floor. But we've got players on the floor, a try for goal, player holding the basketball, and immediately goes to a timeout signal, right? I think our center picks up that timeout request. This would be a great chance, right, either from trail to recognizing the request, to come in, timestamp the moment, holding the basketball, timeout, white. But also when we look at the habits and fundamentals here, our center official comes in and our two officials are face-to-face like this. Once they're in that situation, they lose perspective on everything that's going on around, right? We want to get to the lead official quickly. We want to, talk about what we have. Do we have a timeout being granted in this situation? Do we have a held ball ruling? Do we have any indications from either official about the scenario? Let's see. I think that player was pulled and he should shoot. Right? A hand up. Hand up. No indication. Our lead's in great position. A little too close to the action here. I think we have players talking. Yeah. Be interesting to know what actually was the result of this play. Now, our scoreboard says really close game. We would assume with a score like this that we don't have a lot of time remaining in this game, but we don't have that information. Yeah, so stuff on this play. Is this a legal guarding action by our player? Is that extended? Yeah, that's a pull down, man. That's a pull down. That's my first reaction on the play. So we have a volatile situation on the floor, though, and we're in great position as lead. I think our center hurts us by the proximity, right? We'd want to be aware of what's going on in this scrum. We want our trail official to be really aware as well. We've got the whole aspect of don't grant a timeout unless the player, we are sure they have player control. Does this player have player control? Yes. Yes, they do. And they then immediately grant, and then the opponent rolls over on top of them. Is that a foul? It wouldn't be a foul to me. I'm granting that timeout to the player in white. I am granting that timeout. They were holding the ball, making a request. White was making a request. All it takes is a moment, an instant. Grant the timeout request, sell it, holding the basketball, timeout white, right? Sell it, sell it. That's what I say on that play, right? But a great scenario to look at, habits and fundamentals. We want to be great in that scenario. We want to be consistent as a crew. So, yeah, a great play to look at. We love looking at these plays like this because they reveal our habits and fundamentals in the moment of critical games. What do you all think about that play? Oh, no, Tony, no. I guess, maybe. What do you think of the pull down there? Player in white. Oh, man. So it's a violation to roll over, Tony. A violation to roll over holding the basketball. If my tech team has holding a basketball and I say roll over and they do this, I say, no treats for you. No treats at all. That is not rolling over. I want a rollover. But what if he was tugged to the floor? That's not illegal? Interesting. Interesting. No live ball timeouts. Ooh, I did not know that. I would not rule a traveling violation there to save my life. Yeah, we note, of course, when the ball goes up, even though it was like an awkward try, our trail is habitually leaving. That's just their reaction to the game. Now, sometimes we get into a game and these players are going back and forth and back and forth. And we're like, I'm being challenged to get to the end line, and so I'm cheating a little bit. But many officials build cheating a little bit into the game, right? And we obviously don't want that. Oh, thank you, Rod. Thank you. I am with you, Rod. Do we need to call? We're calling the pull down. Phil, are you with me on the pull down? Yeah, we got a poo-poo platter of choices. Is it a block? Is it a charge? Or is it a player control? Is it a pull down? Is it a timeout being granted? Is it a defender rolling over a player on the floor? Ay, ay, ay. All right, Kelly, what was the ruling? What's the ruling on the play? Great. Excellent. I think Kelly's working at center here, and he can fill us in. Do we have a problem with engagement from C? Oh, that's going to be tough play. Well, you could get that pull down. Huh. That's all it takes, man. So we look at video and it's like, how did you miss that, bro? And all it takes is a player moving 6 inches in front of you, and you don't pick that up, right? Like, so the player in white, the post player on the lane line there, all it takes is enough of a movement, for us to be unclear or unsure. All right. No techs were called. Okay, was he pointing at the 2 players for a held ball? What was our lead pointing at? Oh, this is great. We get the officials on the play. Or black 15. Yeah. All right. They went with the timeout. I love it. That's a great situation. So me, right? This is the way my brain works. This is exactly the way my brain works. This player is on the floor. They are holding the basketball. We have player control. They turn and give any sort of signal like this. I don't care what happens next. other players immediately grab the basketball, we are granting the timeout. I'm time stamping the moment. I have to ensure player control and a request. Player control and a request, and I'm coming in hard, holding the basketball. Timeout, White, right? Remove doubt from Black. Black's like, my player had it. Holding the basketball, timeout request. Oh, I'm really glad you're here. Help us with that play. Thanks, Kylie. Absolutely. Absolutely. They're there all day long. Oh, the Michigan contingent is here. See, the problem is, Kylie, is we come out of this scenario with a timeout being granted, then that's confusing to the opposing coach. It's like, what? How can you come out, with that, right? It's better if we come in hard selling the timeout request due to the scenario, and then maybe we get pushback from Black, but we can make it very clear. Holding the ball, timeout. Holding the ball, timeout. Whew. Yes. I remember very clearly, I'm like a second-year official, and I'm new lead in front of the coach, and there's a play in the back court, and I'm like 50 feet away from the play, and the coach is requesting a timeout, and I see that they have player control, but then subsequently the ball gets loose, and I come in after the fact saying, or the ball got loose, or then that there was a subsequent foul or something, and I come in sort of weakly back to my partners. It was such a learning moment for me. It's just like, man, you got to come in strong and sell the heck out of it. Oh my gosh, I remember that so vividly. It's like handled it the worst possible way, right? And as we talked about previously, what are the lessons you learn that are the most impactful? The ones where you screw things up. Exactly. I think it was 72. I have been officiating for over a decade. But actually, I got started late in life, and now I'm an old man. I guess it's just a different perspective from the rules that we have in place versus the rules. It sounds like there's a fundamental difference. And so, yeah. All right, Kevin. Okay. Now, let me see. Let me check. 823. I'm not sure if I've had this play before, but I need to put it in the episode. Oh, let's move on and move at our next. Wait, let's move it. Let's look at our next play. All right. Action. So, we could start on a play like this by looking at the position of the crew. Obviously, our trail is much too close to the division line, and we've got our lead working at the lane line extended. This not only obviously puts you in harm's way, but it's a poor place to officiate the game. We have a score, which is a blowout scenario, 38-18, 4 minutes to go in the third period. Right? What are we sensitive to in that situation? Right? This is an obvious foul by White. Let's say White is our home team. No, White is our home team. They are up by 20. We are at Fulton, home of the Pirates. Right? We're sensitive in these situations to any sort of taunting action by our team that's ahead, and any sort of retaliatory frustration action by our team that's behind. But we're aware that we can have frustration in the game, etc. So, of course, there was a video recently of a lead official having a dislocated knee on this exact play scenario, and then resuming the game and fighting through, popping it back into place. It's like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Right. So we mentioned previously the lessons we learn are, I'm going to go back on that. Right. So our trail official ultimately comes in and assesses, it appears, a technical foul. Maybe we could go double technical here. White's got something to say. Our player comes up clapping, etc. We could go double T in this situation just to calm things down. Let's see what actions occur while the ball is dead. Right? So our lead official leaves the scene a little early. We've got the clapping player going towards his opponent, etc. We're leaving the play a little early. What's the rush? The ball's dead. I think we're in a state where the calling official is going to go opposite. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So what are our takeaways on a play like this? Positioning of the crew, awareness in a lopsided game situation, not leaving the spot of the foul early as the calling official, and being dead ball aware. Of course, our trail official may be in a hurry here because he senses a dynamic between the two players and he wants to get there. Like, yeah, I need to get there. I need to get there and deal with these guys. Right? Double T would be an easy solution in that instance. Right? They both extended a little bit. Did it rise to some incredible level? No, but it could be a game management tool in a lopsided situation. Yeah, so that's a good play to look at, dead ball officiating. God, if you are a great dead ball official, man, you are way ahead of the game. It's a fantastic skill, and it's going to prevent so many problems for you and your crews in games. And if we have habits and fundamentals that take us out of awareness, right? Our lead official on this play is in a hurry to leave the play. Maybe they're thinking about their call. Maybe they're thinking about the fact that their knee now hurts. But let the participants, there's a moment of tension in that moment. Be aware of those situations in the game. Address it. Easy, guys. I see you. Yeah. All right, good job, Blue, I got you, or whatever. Just put your voice in the game at the spot. Don't be in a rush. Then go report, and as non-calling officials, be aware of what's happening in the game. What's happening in the game. Remember that. I asked you to remember last week, and you didn't remember. What's happening in the game? What's happening in the game? What's happening in the game? Yeah. Population 1. Yeah, on the previous play, you got to use the slow motion in real time. uh, okay. Thank you. I just couldn't tell from the graphic. Sometimes the home team's on the left, sometimes the home team's on the right. I think our lead has a push on the play, and I think they're going opposite on the play. Mike? Foul on White, pointing to the bench. Some officials point at the bench when they say White. Maybe. Hey, wait a minute. Is that Mark Fisher? How are you, Mark? If you're the Mark, I think you are. I think you are. Not that imposter Mark Fisher. The real Mark Fisher, just like the real Ray Allen. Good to see you in the chat. Yeah, I don't know what mechanic set they're using. All right, Tom. Awesome. Okay. Now, what was I supposed to remember? I've already forgotten. Something about the game. Now you have to help me. Hey, so we're going to look at a three-play scenario at the end of a game. We're going to do that for live stream viewers. I've already wrapped the play. Anybody got any? I should write this stuff down that's happening in the game. You know what's happening in our game? Tremendous support from our tremendous show supporters. Who's up on the show supporter big board today? Darwin Sanada, Richard Masterson, Phil Haddad, Isaiah Langlois, and Lotta Joe. Much appreciated and much love. You want to support the show? Yes. 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 And yes. Much appreciated. Thank you for sticking around to the end of the show today. I've got a request. If you would take just a moment to like the video, it's so helpful for us, getting us in front of more basketball officials so that we can all get better together. I have additional video content. I have training opportunity available. I have mad love for all viewers of 5 Play Friday, and we'll see you in the very next video. Take care, everybody. Except for live stream viewers. Hey. I will search that, I'm not going to just say I'm going to search it. I'm going to write it down. Red River, Fargo. Sounds like something that's happening at the OK Corral. All right. So, for live stream viewers, let's take a look at this 3-play sequence. Yeah. Right. So, end of game scenarios are really critical. We want to develop our habits and fundamentals, our skills. All of our skills come to bear in end of game scenarios. So let's take a look today at sort of a 3-play sequence maybe 4, there's elements, right? And at the end of the game, and we can do this with lots of games. At the end of the game, they did this. They did everything correctly, great awareness, etc. Or there's little breaks. There's little habits and fundamentals that could be improved. Let's take a look today at 3-play sequence in a very close competitive game. Let's take a look. All right. So all of the things are on display in these scenarios, right? And we want our game to be refined and strong in end-of-game scenarios when there's pressure in the game, right? We've had a long game. There's pressure about getting things right in end-of-game scenarios. And also these by looking at sequences, we can think, are we thinking through what we need to be aware of in these end-of-game scenarios? So let's take a look. We've got the team in red down by 3 points. Final 30 seconds, try, missed, rebound. Coach does not like the organization on the play. Ultimately requests and is granted a timeout request, right? So did the player have player control when the timeout request was granted, or was the ball in flight? We don't want to be aware of these things. Now so if we look at it, right? When the request first comes in, this player is dribbling, holding, when he's requesting the timeout. So in this instant, we have a situation where we are going to grant the timeout. Great in this instance to say, to timestamp. You're the opposing coach. You hear a whistle blow and the ball is in flight, right? You can't grant a timeout, right? It creates that tension. We come out and sell it, holding or dribbling the basketball right here. Timeout, red, sideline, etc. Really helps the game in that situation. We've granted. This is fantastic. We have designated the spot. This is more than fantastic. This is really critical for teams. Both teams know where the ball is going to become in this situation. We've got lots of activity on the floor, etc. Our crew is in great position, and we ultimately have a throw in here. Now, we had this play previously. A backcourt violation is ruled on this play. This is not a backcourt violation, and it's a critical mistake to make in a game such as this. It's a 3-point game. When we looked at the play last week, I said, and you have taken away the team's opportunity to win the game. In the end, though, they didn't. But this is a mistake we make as a crew. We've talked about this before. Where is the resulting throw-in? Which official handles the resulting throw-in? Right? This would be a throw-in at the 28-foot line. Our center official would become the new trail using NFHS mechanics. When we show this confusion as a crew, it's not the best. We want to be great in these situations. And ultimately, our team in white is going to be granted a timeout. Right? We would want to clarify where the throw-in spot is. I think we're doing that in this situation. And when we come out of the timeout, there seems to be some confusion by the white team about where the throw-in spot was. So maybe you could say, were we clear enough where the ball would be for the resulting throw-in? But we're going to fix our players here and everything's going to be good, right? So what are you thinking as officials in this situation? Red is down by 3 points. Right? There's, I think, 7 seconds remaining or something. What do we expect red to do? Right? This is what we have to have a mindset. We're coming out of a timeout. Our crew has talked about all of the things. Both teams are in the bonus. Timeouts remaining. What do we expect strategy-wise, etc.? What do we expect red to do? What's the default thing for red to do? Play really strong defense and try to prevent white from scoring? No, they're down by 3 points. What do they may try to steal aggressively, go for the steal, and then if they risk fouling, right, then they do what they wanted in the end. They're looking to foul. They need to stop the clock. They can't have white dribbling the basketball around, right? So what do we expect? What's our mentality in this situation? Get the first foul. Why? Why is that our mentality? Well, watch this play. That player is fouled. That's a take foul situation, right? We don't put a whistle on the first foul, and then what happens? Boom, right? Now we have a player who's displacing a player in a more than casual fashion, shall we say? And we're at risk now of an intentional foul in this situation. By not calling the first foul, we increase the desperation by the team. When we increase the desperation by the team, we will see more egregious action, right? We have to have a foul. You're not calling a foul. I have to do something more, right? And now we need to be aware who our shooter is. We're going to shoot free throws. This is pretty much going to ice the game. There's 11 seconds remaining. But our player, in the end, does not successfully make either free throw. Okay? So we're here. It's 11 seconds remaining. What is our mindset here? What are we thinking? What do we expect to have happen when red gets the basketball here? We are anticipating a timeout by red. We're anticipating that. Ultimately, we get a timeout, and it is granted. Where is the resulting throw-in? When the timeout was granted, what was the status of the basketball? These are things that we have to know. I think our crew generously awards a front court throw-in. When I listened to the sound, I think our timeout was granted right about here. Right? This should be a backcourt throw-in by rule. And again, we need to designate spots in end-of-game situations. We We need to be very clear. We'll say, well, what's the big deal? We'll give the ball, if they have a backcourt throw-in, it's different than that they have a front-court throw-in in an end-of-game situation. As simple as that. I'm seeing a lot of this and looking at video of situations like this. We're very casual and non-specific, or we don't designate. And we just sort of like end up with, hey, where do you want to take it in, right? Be really clear, be really precise, be really accurate with your awareness of the clock. When we granted the timeout, should it be 7.2? Should it be 7.5, 7.7? These are things we want to know. We are coming out of the timeout. There are 7 seconds remaining. What are we thinking in this situation? It's a 3-point lead. Red has the basketball. What do we think that they're going to do? Drive to the basket and shoot a layup? No. No, we don't. They need a 3-point goal. What's our mindset in these situations? Do we want to miss an obvious foul by White? No. No, we do not. No, we do not. Is it possible that White would use a take foul in this situation? Not something commonly seen in high school basketball, but if we get down into the final seconds, like let's say there's under 3 seconds remaining, we can get a foul. Both teams are in the bonus. We have to know that. Unlikely at the high school level to see that. Our trail official does a great job of indicating that's your spot. Defender, I need you back. These are great habits and fundamentals. Right? We step back from the thrower, but where's the game? The game's not coming back towards us. Right? We're a little disconnected. Right? This team is desperate for a 3-point goal. Right? As our lead official, we're inside looking out. Where is the game in this situation? Right? Where is the game? The entire game is right here in front of the bench. We need to be super focused on that, be super aware. Our center official, if a last second try, they need to be aware if it was released on time. This player is in distress. We do not have the angle. It appears as though White contacts the off arm. It appears that ball's deflected. Pressure's building. Our players in the corner say, give me the ball. There's with that left arm by our tall defender. Right? We don't know. What's the reaction by White 4? Like, oh, I've done something. Right? What's the reaction of every single player on the bench that looks at the ref like, you're not calling that? But what's our mindset? What if it was off-ball contact, right? That was, not like blatant, super significant, but it was technically a foul. Are we going to put a player down by 3 on the line for 3 free throws in a game like this? What's our mindset in this scenario? For me, if that player was fouled, even just a touch foul or what have you, they're going to the line. I don't need to see a violent contact in a situation like this. So in the end, habits and fundamentals exhibited by the crew in this end of game scenario. We have great habits and fundamentals on some aspects, weaker fundamentals on some other aspects. We have we have a ruling in the game that's a devastating mistake by the crew. In the end, we have a last-second try for goal. May or may not have been a foul. Can I say it's for sure a foul in this situation? I cannot. But it's great to look at all of the things and think through what we're thinking as a crew in these end-of-game situations. What do we expect strategy-wise from teams? What do we expect in terms of timeout requests, etc.? Are we precise in our activity in the game? Are we clearly communicating to the stakeholders in the game what's going to happen next when the ball has become dead so that they can prepare their teams for winning the basketball game? So I found that to be a super valuable thing. We're going to be doing some more of these scenarios talking about all of the things in end-of-game situations when we want to be our best. It's when we have to be our best. It's when the game demands that we are our best. That was long-winded. I'm going to come back to this. Hey, so if we think through the scenario, that last second try for goal, if it's a tie game, what's our mentality? If it's a 3-point lead, what's our mentality? Right? Can we have a different mentality in those situations? So I'll just say that about that. Let's see where we are. Yes, we had that play a week ago. But at the time, I thought, well, you've just taken away the team's opportunity to win the game. But Cruz said, hold my beer. We're going to take it away again. Yes, you are correct, Tony. And these are the things that we're looking for because we're not specific. We're not specific. We're not working as a crew. We're erring. We're fudging. Why don't we? What's the downside? Etc. Possible. They were looking right at it. Maybe it was a FIBA official. Maybe they do both. I agree, Tony. I agree. Would you come across the court and get that first take foul? That's what I was when I was mentioning to Stan. Stan had a play where the center came from a million miles away to rule on a take foul in an end of game situation. Man, we have to come out of our. Are we going to get together as a crew in that situation? In this situation, the timeout that precedes this, absolutely. Do not miss. Let's get the first foul, right? If they come out and steal and foul, let's give them the first opportunity. If they come out and they're obviously doing a take foul, get the first foul. We have to get the first foul. If we don't, then we lead to a retaliatory, stronger foul that may just turn the apple cart over on our game. The game's over, right? Two shots on the ball. But we also, a second and 7/10 runs off between the first attempt and the second attempt. We have to get those. I can't either. Everybody's reaction on the play says there may have been. Thanks, Rick. Yeah, it's critical. Oh, no. 2 hours. I got to get to work. Oh, that took way too long. Oh, man. But you could talk about, sequences like this. You notice also our trail official didn't indicate a 3-point goal. Why? Why not? 3-point try. Man, I would never stand there and talk. No. I'm leaving. I like the vibe of our center official here. That's the pace I would use. I'm not running off the court in this situation. Head held high. Absolutely. If you're the one pulling them out of the getting them out of the huddle, um, and you can ask the players, you can ask the coach, what's the strategy, coach? What are we doing? So we're fouling right away. Okay, great. Do we have a super secret hand signal with our crew? Uh, oh, thanks, Tony. Thanks for being the contrarian here, the fighting for the FEMA perspective. Yeah, I mean, unless you say, but what they may say is here we're going for the steal, right? Because a take foul here is pretty much going to ice the game. So maybe they're super aggressive on a steal attempt. They bring out a big player to stand. We have to give them the opportunity if they are attempting to steal. But that first foul right here, the first foul is so obviously a take foul. Right? They're lunging at the player right there. When they swipe down, anybody, like both our trail and our lead are looking right at it. Just the hand on the small of the back. That is a foul. That is a foul in a take foul situation. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. Is that what they said to the coach? Nuh-uh. No, we're done here, coach. It's Miller time. And then hit the no. Okay. Yeah, I got a few other. I'm going to start doing this more in our remaining episodes. It's just end of game sequences, all of the things, right? Do we do them? Do we don't do them? All right. I appreciate everybody. You know what time it is. It is Miller time. I still got to do that 5-play after dark where take a shot. How about you take a shot after each play and everybody can play along. And the comments at the end would be hilarious. We'd have a problem. Oh, awesome. Okay, everybody, I'm going to wrap it. I appreciate everyone. And we'll see you next week. Definitely next week. Definitely the week after. After that? Who knows? Take care, everybody.
Bye.